Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking an exclusive step-by-step factory tour to uncover the absolute food engineering marvel that is the iconic McDonald's Chicken McNugget. I mean, chances are you already know exactly how these taste, right? But despite all those wild internet myths floating around for years, you might not know what's actually inside them, or how a massive factory takes everyday raw ingredients and transforms them into millions of perfectly uniform golden nuggets every single day. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's just dive right in and address the elephant in the room. We're debunking those viral internet rumors with the actual on-the-ground factory reality. For years, social media has been totally flooded with images of this bizarre pastel-colored paste claiming it's the foundation of this famous fast food staple. Well, today, we are putting that myth side by side with the real 100% white meat reality. Here's our tour map for today's explainer, taking us step by step from raw ingredients to the flash-frozen final product. We'll be covering 1. The pink slime myth, 2. The real meat mixture, 3. Shaping the iconic 4, the tempura batter secret, and 5. Flash freezing for quality. So, Section 1. The pink slime myth, fact versus fiction. Let's clear up one of the most persistent and visually shocking urban legends in fast food history. The absolute most crucial point here is that the infamous pink slime has literally nothing to do with McNuggets. Back in the early 2000s, an image went super viral showing a bright pink substance being squeezed out of a machine. But, as food scientists have repeatedly pointed out, that viral image was most likely mechanically separated chicken, which is a totally different product used in different foods by different companies, not McDonald's. Their nuggets operate under really strict USDA regulations and start with clean, white chicken breasts. No beaks, no claws, and absolutely no mystery slime. Moving right along to Section 2, the real meat mixture inside the grinder. Let's look at what actually goes into the industrial equipment at facilities like the Tyson plant in Tennessee. Now, what is genuinely fascinating here is the precise formula they use. The meat is 100% white meat. Specifically, we're talking breast, rib, and tenderloin. And instead of turning it into a mushy paste, it gets a coarse grind for a hearty, meaty texture. But as you probably know, pure breast meat can get pretty dry, right? So they add a carefully controlled ratio of chicken skin back into the mix for natural moisture and fat. They also blend in water and sodium phosphates to keep it super juicy, and then they finish it off with rosemary extract, acting as a natural antioxidant to protect that classic flavor. To get this mixture ready for molding, the chicken dough has to be dropped to a highly specific temperature range, exactly -3 to -5 degrees Celsius. This precise chilling is absolutely crucial because it makes the meat dense and cohesive enough to hold its shape during the high-speed molding process. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the sheer massive scale of the operation. They use these massive twin-screw mixers to inject food-grade liquid nitrogen directly into the meat. Picture this. Heavy-duty mechanical blades folding freezing cold nitrogen into up to 250 kilograms of chicken dough at a single time. This is how they guarantee that both the seasoning and the temperature are perfectly uniform across these gigantic batches. All right, Section 3. Shaping the iconic 4, uniformity and control. With our chilled, dense dough prepped and ready to go, let's head to the molding machines. Standardizing these exact 4 shapes, the bell, the boot, the ball, and the bone, which is actually sometimes called the bow tie, well, it isn't just some quirky branding choice. By pressing the chilled meat into these specific dimensions, it guarantees strict portion control and lets them crank out thousands of units per minute. But most importantly, it ensures every single nugget will cook completely evenly, whether you're eating them in New York, Paris, or Tokyo. Which brings us to Section 4, tempura batter secret, the perfect crunch. The nuggets now undergo a highly specific, multi-stage coating process. This coating process happens in 3 brilliant stages. First up, the nuggets pass through a pre-dust of seasoned flour and starch. Think of this as a dry grip, because without it, the batter just wouldn't stick properly. Next, a liquid batter flows over every single edge and curve. Finally, they pass through a breading machine that drops fine crumbs seasoned with the really distinct aromas of white pepper and celery. Rollers then gently press this breading right into the wet batter so it holds on tight. Now, instead of using heavy breadcrumbs that just get soggy in a matter of minutes, the McDonald's coating relies on some pretty clever tempura-style chemistry. The ingredient list is surprisingly complex. It blends wheat and corn flours with 5 specific starches, including pea and modified cornstarch. Then they add chemical leaveners like baking soda and sodium acid pyrophosphate.
The secret here, when this hits hot oil, it aerates the batter. That's what gives you that light, crispy tempura crust that needs way less oil and perfectly complements the meat inside.
Immediately after that coating, they get par-fried. They take a quick trip through a bath of hot vegetable oil for exactly 1 minute. That's it. This brief fry sets the tempura structure, firms up the breading, and locks in that classic golden shape. But here's the catch. Inside, the chicken is still completely raw. The factory isn't actually trying to cook the meat here. They're literally just building the foundation for the final cook that happens right before it hits your tray.
And that takes us to our final stop, Section 5, Flash Freezing, Preserving Quality. This reveals the vital reason why McDonald's insists on freezing them. Moving straight from that quick fry, the par-fried nuggets enter an industrial blast freezer to rapidly hit -40 degrees. And fun fact, -40 is actually the unique temperature where the Fahrenheit and Celsius scales match up perfectly. Anyway, this extreme speed is totally critical. You see, if chicken freezes slowly, large ice crystals form and literally rupture the meat's cellular structure, making it super mushy when reheated. Flash freezing prevents that, creating microcrystals and perfectly preserving the texture and moisture.
As food supply chain expert Chip Carter noted, from a food service supply chain standpoint, fresh chicken is just a nightmare. Sending raw, highly perishable poultry out to thousands of fast food kitchens introduces massive cross-contamination risks and potential food waste. So, this extreme flash freezing is an essential safety measure. It completely eliminates what Carter vividly calls the nuclear disaster waiting in every commercial kitchen. Kept strictly below zero on refrigerated trucks, they travel through a totally uninterrupted cold chain. They finally reach your local restaurant in this pristine, stable state. And it's only when you actually place an order that they get dropped into hot oil at 350 degrees for a few minutes. That final step is what cooks the chicken all the way through, giving you that perfect, satisfying bite.
So, wrapping up this explainer, you now know that a simple McNugget actually contains around 30 distinct ingredients, engineered across a vast global supply chain just to deliver identical results every single time. Knowing the intense science, the massive twin screw mixers, the liquid nitrogen, and the tempura chemistry required to safely mass-produce billions of these golden shapes, do you still view the simple chicken McNugget the exact same way? It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday foods are hiding such fascinating engineering right behind their crispy exteriors? Thanks so much for joining me, and as always, keep exploring the science hiding in plain sight.